Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Chenos, and I'm here again evaluating another project. In this case, the project is Areté. It's a project meant to manage your money, your cash, and some automatization of tagging and categorizing your expenses, income, etc., will also help you into sharing the expenses with your friends. So it's basically a money management application. So far, looking at this main menu, I can already see lots of things to improve. The first one is that the logo is in the background, and right now it's kind of removing some context. I will maybe put it at the top and put the full name or something, so it's much clearer what are we working on. So maybe A and then Arete, right? Kind of like Instagram logo and Instagram. Then the other thing, same as all other groups, is the username part. Here you can see that they only put an input field, so you can type information, right? But the moment you type something, it just disappears. So this can create a big problem, especially if there are more than one field, and then you maybe don't know if this was name, nickname, or maybe a Gmail field, or maybe a title or whatever, right? So to be more clear, they should put some icon or something visual, even if it's the label of username at the left, that this is the username, because otherwise people will forget. This is following one of the Nielsen heuristics, which is basically a set of rule of thumbs, which will help you create better applications. And one of them is that the user should recognize things rather than remember or recall it. So instead of remember that this is the username, you should see or recognize directly with an icon or whatever, such as a label. Okay, the other error I'm seeing right now is that login and sign up, they kind of look like you shouldn't be able to click on them. Okay, so the choice of colors also it's not the best one. So I would say test, password, test, test. Oops. Also, another thing is that in the password, it would be nice to have a toggle button to see what you were typing. Here I can see another problem, and that it's color related, and you will see exactly what I mean with that. Ever authenticated, barely formatted the email address, and here it says username. So it should be like big test gmail.com, big test 1 2 3 4 5 exclamation, big test 1 2 3 4 5 exclamation. Now it should allow, but notice how this is, or it can be confusing. And to illustrate this better, I will show you now this. So this is when you are trying to create an account in Twitter or X. So first thing you can notice is that you have a placeholder here indicating a hint of what you are typing here, and also it always visible. So when you type something, you know that this is the name. So you're not losing context, so you're recognizing that immediately. Okay. The other thing is the button. As you can see, if I remove this, you won't be able to click it. But the moment you feel it, it changes the color and you can click it. This is because universally this color like saturated, it means that you can click it. But this color that is like more grayed out or dead, it's basically meaning that you should not be able to click it. And right now this seems like you should not be able to click it, but you can click it. Okay, so I created the account, which is big test gmail.com, and then it was big test 1 2 3 4 5 exclamation. Here you should also put a forget password because maybe I can forget the password, and that's always a good thing to have. Login again, same thing as before. And this is their main menu. So again, it was application for managing money. If I remember correctly, the only menus they have is the main menu and the user menu. Expenses, income. You can create a new transaction, which new. Okay, I'm trying to type the name of the transaction, but it doesn't allow me. Okay, so it's a number. Okay, so it was a number, but there was no hint at all of what was this field supposed to be. And then it's asking me to put a time, and then I can save the transaction. Okay, so this is good because it's displaying correctly. I will also try to put some name to it, to a transaction. Uh, it doesn't allow me to add more transactions, and after testing, I know that it just broken, so I have to reset the application in order to type another um, transaction just to illustrate things. Okay, big test, com, big test, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, exclamation. And just to illustrate, I will create a negative invoice. So yeah, and as you can see here, the button style is different, but either way, I will put it at this time, save transaction, and it shows like this. So this is their main view so far. So here you will add manually the transactions. I also suggest putting a name or something and improve the way you add things, or add a hint that you're typing the money or the expense or the income, and also fix that you cannot add more transactions each time you open the activity. You should be able to add as many as you want, not close and open the application. That would be very frustrating for the user. And finally, we have a profile in which, yeah, you can select and put a photo, put a name, a number, phone number, and the age. What the hell? Okay, let's just remove this. Okay. Mm. All right, so two things. One is that the language are not matching. So sometimes it's Spanish, sometimes it's English. That should be fixed. The other thing is that profile, it's very confusing. So this is edit profile, and then you can change all the information so far related to number, age, name, and image. And these are supposed to be like tabs, but then the last one is an action, which is close session. So these are very bad user interface, and it should be fixed because it is also not matching to others. So for example, this one is a good view. I will instead, like looking at the tabs we have here, if you really need tabs, put profile, bank, whatever, you can put the tabs here. So these two, right? But as tabs at the top, so it makes more sense. And then close session, maybe I will put it inside the tab instead of here, because when it's a little bit confusing, I would say also ugly, and it's not harmonic because you can see that the weight of the information goes to the right, but then you have something in the left, and it's not, it's like fighting each other, right? It makes not much sense, and it's not very pretty. So yeah, that was assessment for this group, just highlighting that this was done in 1 or less than a week. This is their first deliverable. Um, so yeah, they're also from second year, so I should encourage them to keep going. Of course, there's a lot of things to improve because they don't know. This is their first time. And that's why it's important to also get some feedback. And in this case, with feedback. So yeah, that's it for this group. Thank you. Goodbye.